And thank you for having my film here. I mean, whenever I get accepted into a film festival, my film does, I always get really excited that, oh my God, they liked me. Anyway, so thank you for coming and supporting the festival. Is it 5 years? Is that right? And congratulations on 5 years, and how awesome that Wells Fargo is. I just was thinking, it's so rare that I hear that about big companies like that being involved, and thank you for being volunteers. The film is a concert film. It's a live concert film. It's kind of like what you would normally see maybe on a Saturday night on HBO, but they're just not necessarily handing out comedy specials to guys like me. So I made it myself, along with my good friend Margaret Cho, who executive produced it, and I'm so grateful to her. She's so awesome. She is everything that you would imagine and more, and 100 times more. And I toured with her for a few years, and at the end of the few years, I said, I want to make a comedy special. She said, do it, and whatever you need from me, let me know. And so between her and my partner Sarah also helped produce this film, and a handful of other people and a film crew in my home city of Portland, Maine. We made this concert and documented it, and it was the best fun that I've ever had. And so I've been a comic for just over a decade, and this is the culmination of all the comedy that I've done in probably the last 5 years, and talking about my transition largely, but also a little bit about my hometown. It is a stand-up thing. It's not just about trans stuff, but it does reveal a lot about my transition and that process. And I'm going to do a Q&A afterwards, so if you'd like, stick around for a few minutes, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And also, I did this, and I didn't mention this to you, but I brought t-shirts with me because I'm not even kidding, like the last 5 festivals I've been to, everybody was like, well, do you have a t-shirt or something? I'm like, not on me, so I just brought them with me. I have like 5 t-shirts with me. I might have your size. If you want one, see me after the show for one. But thank you. I love you guys, and I mean it. Thank you for coming to see this film, and I hope you enjoy it. And don't be nervous that I'm sitting over there. You feel free to laugh anyway. That I don't get scared because I'm in the theater. So anyway, thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much, and let's start the film.
I thought my girl days were over, but apparently you have to put this shit on to make sure you don't shine.
He's like a major mover and shaker. He just like, he said he wanted to do his show, and it's getting done. Yeah. And he's so deserving.
Yeah, will you come help me actually? Because I just loaded a crap load on my nose.
No, let me do it. Let me do it.
Ian told me once, because I have all this self-deprecating, self-doubt, like I'm fat, I'm ugly, whatever. And Ian one day was like, hey, quit it. Just quit it. You're a person of shape. So I'm rocking my shape, so thanks.
Do you see I have a blemish here?
Yeah, okay, I got you.
All right.
I have concealer.
Bring it to me.
Okay.
She calls me by my birth name, which is fine with me. I don't mind that. So anyway, we're at the Goodwill. She calls out my birth name. She's like, Janet, come here. I'm like, yeah, Mom?
Which is the blemish you were concerned about?
You don't even see it now.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
See, I just, you know, because I'm like a magician.
You work your magic.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like a magician.
The woman at the register is like, what? And I realized what happened. I said, Mom, you know what? If you keep talking like that, they're gonna put you in a home.
I am so impressed. That was probably the best show that I've ever seen in my life.
My face hurts from smiling. I'm not a smiler, and this is just a great day for me.
And I figured out for me, it's not science or genetics or biology. I really want to pee my name in the snow.
Absolutely, my stomach hurts. Hilarious.
So funny. So funny. Awesome.
And what I have isn't quite cutting it. I mean, that would be fine if my name was
Have you talked to these people yet? This is my father, Len. This is my mother, Bev. I always say, I don't know where he came from. I think aliens abducted him, then brought him back.
Like the poo amount still comes, you just learn to manage it better as you get into your career.
Ian just presented that tonight so beautifully, how, you know, we just are so much more alike than we are different.
Thank you so much for coming to the film. You guys can ask me anything. You normally, I mean, if you're trans, you already know this. You just don't walk up to trans people and go, "What's the deal with your whole what's in your pants" kind of shit. But you can ask me anything you like. It's impolite to ask trans people very private, personal questions. And I'm not saying ask me what's in my pants, because I don't have anything in my pants right now. But it's back at my friend's house. But it's one of those things, you can ask me anything you want. This is the forum to do that if you'd like to. I'm happy to answer anything about the film or otherwise, my transitional process, about the production, anything you want. If you'd like to ask me, feel free, just shout it out.
Hi, I've got a comment, a joke, and a question.
Oh, right, bring it.
Okay, the comment is, do you know the musical group King Missile?
I do not.
Okay, tonight, look up on Google. They have a song, this is from many years ago, called Detachable Penis.
Called Casual Penis?
No, sorry, Detachable Penis.
Oh, Detachable Penis.
Yes. That's the
Even-
comment. Look it up, trust me.
All right,
You'll
I'm going to
love-
Google it.
All right.
Detachable Penis.
The joke, if you think it's a joke, is I don't think you're a Trans Am, you know, the car, the muscle car. I think you're more like a GTO,
Oh, nice.
girl to other.
Like,
All right.
all right.
Sorry.
Are you a stand-up comic?
I am now, I think.
It's a good thing. Just teasing you. I'm teasing.
Last one. When you were a kid, were you a class comedian?
I wasn't. I mean, I definitely like to entertain people, but I wasn't funny. People ask me if I was like funny as a kid, and did people just always tell you were funny and you should be a comic? I'm like, no one really ever told me I was funny. So it's kind of weird that a weird progression for me, and I never even thought that you could be a comic. It never dawned on me that you could be a comic and make a living. However, I loved comedy as a kid, and I had idols and people that I loved and I wished that I was like, but I never made that connection until that guy in the credits at the end, his name is Tim Farrow. He's the one that introduced me to doing stand-up, and for the first 2 years, I was myself on stage, but it took me a while to become really me up there and to be that comfortable to share very personal information, which I think is for me, is my key to doing comedy, is it has to be real, it has to be connected, it has to be honest, it has to be revealing. And so I wasn't really funny as a kid. I really feel like I have to work at being funny. Like I have to write and rewrite. And I don't, not necessarily even be sitting down, and it all has to come from like my life experience. So it's weird that I'm a comic, but I'm also really grateful that it turned out this way. Like I have a very, I don't know, what do you say, like charmed life that I get to be an artist and make people laugh and get to make a living doing it. So I'm really grateful. But no, not really class clown, and my parents kind of like, we used to do shows as a kid, you know, everybody put on shows for their parents. You guys all do that? Yeah, put up a curtain, and, you know, I was always the intermission comic when I came out, but it never dawned on me. I would do other comics' jokes. I would come out and do Rich Little doing Richard Nixon. Like, that's the kind of shit I would do. It was stupid. I mean, it was so stupid. But anyway, so yeah, it's weird that I'm doing stand-up, because I don't even today, like, I mean, I think the stuff that I talk about, or maybe the way I put it, I'm proud of it, I think it's funny, but I still don't necessarily think that I'm a funny person. Isn't that weird? I'm a comic, but I don't think I'm a funny person anyway. But maybe with my friends, but I'm not that person at the party that's like entertaining everybody. So, am I too close? Yeah, a little bit. All right. So, I know it was a long-winded answer. Well, there was someone over here that had one. Right here?
Am I on? Ian, my name is Jack McKendry, and I want to just say thank you. I enjoyed the film very much. I was absolutely blown away. I've got two transgendered people in my close circle of friends, from male to female. I would have loved to have seen a picture of you before. I'm utterly blown away.
Yeah, I have one on my iPhone. I'll show it to you. I think I still have it on there. Let me just check. Well, it was actually, you know, from, God, I think you took this photo that I have on my phone. Let me see if I have it. And it is pretty. I look like the brother to the girl that I used to be. And I have two brothers, and I look like, hold on, I'm looking at porn. There I am. Okay. I wish there was a way to project this, but I'm gonna hold this for 1 second. Is it gonna squeal if I go up here? Let's try it. Let's see. I'll fuck you up. This is. What? I had really long hair. I had like really long blonde hair, and like I used to tie it back in a bun. I don't know if you can see it. It's sort of like, I don't know if you can see. If you want to see it, I'll show it to you. If you guys come up afterwards. But it's, I was like 23 maybe here. I have them on my Facebook page too. So you can go to my Facebook page and look at my pics, because I am not ashamed of my female history at all. I love that I was born a girl. I love it. I'm so glad, because you know what? I think it makes me a better person having been socialized a girl. Not to say that guys aren't better people, but it definitely informed me on how to act fucking right. And that when I'm on a plane, I don't fucking spread my legs or take the armrests. Like, I know I have spatial consciousness, you know, that guys just don't fucking have. And I mean, just how to talk to women, and like, I mean, that's some of the douchey stuff that I said, but I'm so grateful. So I am totally grateful, and I have no problem showing anybody what I used to look like. I'm proud of every part of my life. I'm grateful for that whole process. So when people ask, you know, not everybody is comfortable showing what they used to look like. A lot of people have struggle with that still, and I respect that. But I really am proud of every step of this process for me, and I'm so grateful. So, and that's part of it. That's my history. I'm herstory that I would never, you know, I would never deny that. So I have, you know, you could probably find other pictures just if you Googled Ian Harvie, or if you Googled Janet Harvie. If you wanted to Google that, you could. So yeah, but thank you for your kind words, and that, and for liking the film. I appreciate that. And so, anybody else? Over here. Over here?
I guess
Marilyn.
it's my turn. You have such a wonderful story, and you're so self-accepting, and I learned so much from the comedy. I mean, I laughed, you know, I was just hysterical, but I also learned a lot of things. And I was wondering, are you ever going to write your life story?
So many guys have done that, and I just think that I'm like, my story would be so boring. Like, look at me, I was a girl, and then I was a boy, and I was butch, and then I'm this guy, and I'm so happy. That would be boring, you know? Like, I don't know, just to be that grateful, and I just think people would yawn through the whole thing of like how happy I am all the time. I don't know, so I mean, I think that, I don't know, I do think I would like to write, not my story in a novel or a bio, but I'd like to write some of that into, I think that there should be like an amazing Showtime series or a HBO series, half hour or otherwise, about, you know, someone like me-ish that is kind of maybe, I don't know, a storyline with a trans guy as the main character would be fucking amazing. I'd love to see that in the media. And something kind of along the lines of Californication, but with a trans guy. He just fucks everybody. I think that would be awesome. Just gets wasted and fucks everybody, and he's a trans guy. But I don't know. But I would like, maybe I'm actually, I'm just about to take a writing course on how to write scripts, because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And they have like a course at UCLA, so I'm going to do that. And so I don't know if I have the talent to write that or not, but I'd like to try. You know, I'd like to at least try. So. Say it again. I agree. I agree. I do think, you know what, and when I first started doing this, it was one of those things that I was so scared to talk to the audience about it that I almost shit myself on stage the first time that I did it. I was so afraid that I would be eaten alive, and I was working in regular comedy clubs, so I wasn't necessarily you know, in a queer setting doing my comedy. I was at regular comedy clubs with regular people, and I was writing in a way because I really wanted them to love me. I wanted them to accept me, so I had to write it in a way that they could wrap their heads around it. And in order to do that, I had to think like them and ask the questions that they might ask and answer them in a funny way. And that's how I started writing my comedy. So I appreciate that you said that, and that's what my goal was when I came out as trans on stage, was to answer all the questions that you had in my head, you had in your head, which was, the first was always like, what is going on down there? Like everybody's eyes, when I tell them I'm trans, the first thing they do is they look down to this area down in this region trying to figure out what's going on. And so I acknowledge that in shows. I acknowledge like a lot of things that I know you're already thinking, no matter who you are. But in the end of this film, what I realized, my point in the end, near the end, was when I first came out, I thought I was the only one that ever felt this way. And then I realized there were other guys like me, and I started to feel better. And then I realized no one fucking feels okay in their bodies. Nobody does. And that is our great unifier. And if you feel a fucking 100% okay about your body, you're the freak, not us. So that is what that's where I started operating from, and that's what I projected on stage. And we were talking about this before I came up here, about if you're on stage and you're nervous and you think you're gonna suck, you're gonna suck. If you're feeling like you're not going to be yourself, you're not going to be yourself. If you're not having fun, you're not going to have fun. And that is exactly the same response you will get back from the audience. If you are not having fun, they are not having fun. If you're scared, they're scared for you. So first time I got up there, I was very nervous, and then I was like, you know what, I need to put these people at ease and be having a good time with this information and be having fun with it and make it funny and accessible. And as soon as I started to do that, everything shifted, and I could play any room in any country and I've just started performing abroad, and I'm realizing that this translates everywhere. Everybody, this is really the great unifier. For me, I realized what a beautiful thing that we are so much more alike than we are different. And like, I like being queer, I like being different, but at the same time, I'm not that fucking different. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm not fucking special. But that's good. That's fucking good. So, so thanks for saying that. That it is transcends and everybody has these feelings. So, someone over here, yeah. Say it again.
Where have you been performing?
This I took from about December 18th off until this here right now. I leave, and I'm going to Columbus, Pittsburgh, Portland, Seattle, then I'm going to Detroit. I do colleges, clubs. I do, I also this fall, I had 4 festivals in Europe that I went to, and I also performed in Amsterdam. I'm going back to perform in Austria in April, and Amsterdam again. So I'm starting to like perform other places, and I've been to Australia. I've done one of my holy grails of comedy festivals, which is the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. It's huge there, and I got to do that in 2010. And after I left Margaret's nest of touring with her, which was awesome, it really lit a fire under my ass to try to make a go of it. Because you could be a career opener or an opener for someone for a while, and then afterwards, a lot of people don't know what to do with themselves, and if you don't, then you have to keep that fire going and just hustle and get yourself booked. And it's really kind of never ending, the hustle, until you're, at a certain level. I would say, I don't know, somewhere between my level and Margaret's level, somewhere in there, there's a point where you don't have to beg anymore, and that people, you know, when you call, they're like, sure, here's a weekend, or here's, you know, a week, or yeah, we'd love to have you come to our college. So it's one of those things that I'm not quite at that point, but I don't know, it's weird. It's like that in between, but it is catching on. I'm catching on, and I'm super grateful. So my next is Columbus and Pittsburgh this week. So, yeah, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's it, yeah. And then the weekend after, I'm going up northwest. Anybody else?
I have a couple of questions regarding the production. I noticed that in a lot of concert films that you watch are shot in multiple venues, and then all of it is edited together. This one looked like it was all done in one location. Why was it done in one location, and how was that chosen?
Well, I don't. There's only one or two comedy specials that I've ever seen that maybe did multiple locations, and there have been really recent filmings. I feel like Louis C.K. might have been one of those people that did that. There might have been one other that I saw recently, but most people, what they do is they rent a venue, a theater like this, and they do several shows and wear the same outfit, and then take the best of all of those same jokes on each night. I did a Kickstarter fundraiser, raised $15,000. The total film cost was probably, now that it's the total production end, is probably about $40,000, which I had not anticipated at all. So I would have asked for more on Kickstarter, but I got all my Kickstarter funds from the most amazing people. So many awesome people donated, and that was great. So I went back to my hometown, to a home theater where I knew that I could have my friends and family there without having to fly them somewhere. And I also had so many friends there that I wanted people to be able to come and be there if they could. So I did it in my hometown for that reason. I did it in one take. What you saw was one show, one night. So I had to fucking get it right, you know? And there was times like the part where I talk about my mom, there's parts where I watch it now and I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. I repeated myself too many times. I'm like, watch it now and I'm like, fuck. And so I know next time that I would probably do a couple shows, but I just couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford 2 nights in a big theater. And but this is typically how a concert film is filmed. It's usually a couple nights. If you're really professional, 1 night, 1 show. Anyway, and you just take, you have 4 or 5 cameras, how many cameras you pick. Some pick 3. Some, you know, it depends on what your production cost ability is. So, so that's why I did it where I did it and for how much. It was what I could afford. And I mean, if I had, I'm not saying that I should, but like if I had, say, a network or somebody that was interested in producing a special with me, it would be a way different. I would have done it on several nights. I've seen them produced. I've been at them, and it's a much more relaxing process if you have 3 shows to pick from the material, because I actually missed a lot of jokes too. After I was done, I was like, fuck, I missed like 6 really good jokes. And you know, I'm like, all right, next show, next time maybe. So was there another part to the question, or was that it? Okay, cool, thanks. Anybody else? All right. Oh, over here.
Hey, Ian. Okay, what I'm curious about, I spend a lot of time with SOFAs, so significant others, families, friends, allies of trans individuals. And one of the things that we struggle with and work a lot on are pronouns. And I noticed that you left in the editing a woman at the end. And I'm thinking there has to be a story to that. So
she's one of my good friends.
Okay.
And she's stupid, but no, she's not stupid. She's just, you know what? This is what it is. A lot of my friends, and she's not being malicious. She's just being doofy. That, you know, that she went on, and she's seen the film. She's seen it, and she's like, oh, I'm such an ass. I'm like, it's fine. But here's the difference. I understand, you know, trans people, we go through this process, and, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but I get when someone is being mean or malicious about saying she to me, which is almost never. I mean, I mean, if someone says she to me, like my mom says she, I mean, she looks nuts. So it's not that, I don't know, I just think that it's rarely malicious that someone is doing that, especially in friend circles. And outside of that, I don't give a fuck, because like I don't even engage with people like that, because who the fuck I am and who you are is not up for public discussion. It's not up for fucking debate. So I don't even engage with those people. So, but back to I understand trans people to go through a process, and we want this respect in the end to be that and to have that pronoun used. And sometimes people think about it so much that they fuck it up. I do it. I have a friend right now who it used to be Tiff, is now Tennyson, is transitioning. One of my good friends, he is now he, and I'm having a hard time with it, of all fucking people. I'm like, oh, I keep getting it wrong. So it's just an honest mistake, and as long as we all have a little bit of patience with each other and consciousness, and when you get it wrong, go, dude, I'm sorry, or miss, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm thinking about it, overthinking it, that now I'm obsessing and I'm getting it wrong. And as long as you're honest about that, people aren't going to be pissed, you know? I mean, unless they're deeply wounded about other things, they're probably not going to be upset with you. I think it's great that you ask. It sounds like you're already trying and already, trying to get it right, and that's all that any trans people could probably ask for, is just try. And that includes me, someone who's already in the know and fucking it up. So, I think that you're good. You're good, and I think that's the other thing. Is like when you do get it wrong, what are you supposed to do when you get something wrong? You promptly admit it, and it goes away. If you let it sit, then people are left to their own imagination of why it happened. So you just address it, and it'll be fine. So.
If we didn't screw up once in a while, how would we know when we get it right?
Indeed, yeah.
Thank you for coming. I guess, unless there's any more questions. Thank you very much. It's been a joy to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And to
thank you, everybody.
bring
Thanks.
it in here for you.
I have the photo, if you want to see the photo. I also have those black Ian Harvie t-shirts with me. If you would like one, let me know, come up, and we'll... Yeah. If you want to come up, I'm going to sit on here if you want to come up. Free bear hugs for anybody who would like one. And thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much.